Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2020 Return to Glory with Williams. And first of all guys, a massive thank you for the response on episode number 1. You guys smashed it out the park and I'm really thankful you guys are enjoying the series so far. So of course, here we are back again. Another episode, round 2 at Bahrain, and I can't wait to jump into it. But guys, before we do get the episode underway, I want to get a couple of plugs out the way. First of all, the first episode, if you're new by chance on this video, then go check it out, guys. I'll leave a link up in the top right hand corner of your screen. And also guys, down below in the description, there is a link to my official Discord server. So if you haven't done so already, go and join, get involved, and hopefully you have a good time over there. But finally guys, if you're going to enjoy today's video, leave a like, subscribe for more guys. The support on the channel has been crazy lately and I want to try and keep that going, and we're going to get the Bahrain Grand Prix underway. Here we go guys, once again back on the main menu, and for this weekend I'm not going to make the same error as round 1 because in Australia I ran out of tyres in qualifying. So to avoid having that problem, we are going to change our tyre allocation this weekend. So as you can see, we're going to switch to the softer allocation, so we have plenty of soft tyres available in qualifying and hopefully we can use them not just in this race but in future races as well. We then look at the weather forecast and of course we're in the desert in Bahrain, therefore no rain expected. We then look at the R&D graph and we do bring, I believe, a minor upgrade this race, but still the car is pretty much unchanged, so we actually lose a little bit of ground to the cars around us, so a bit frustrating. But you can see currently the situation with the upgrades. We had a failed chassis one for this race and we've still got 3 more in the pipeline, so there's a lot of upgrades on the way and hopefully those will arrive soon and the car should be back on pace for the next couple of races. I think most of those upgrades will arrive for the next one in Vietnam, so hopefully those do arrive and we can have just a slightly more competitive package. You know, I'm not asking for a big difference here, but just, you know, being on par with Haas and Alfa Romeo would be pretty decent. Anyway, we move into practice and this is one of the AI's stronger tracks. As you guys know, Bahrain, especially on 110 AI, they are pretty damn decent. After practice we scored about 650 R&D points and we take our total up to 723. We also gain a very small margin of acclaim, and with that we now move into qualifying. And realistically speaking, we got out of Q1 in Australia, we managed to get a Q2 and P14. I'm not too convinced we're going to match that here today because, like I said, this is a very strong track for the AI, especially in qualifying, but it's not going to stop me from giving it a go and trying my best. And as you can see currently on my first run here, I made an absolute mess of turn 1. I just ran a bit too hot on the brakes, locked up the right front, and unfortunately kind of already was on the back foot on this lap. So this is just going to be a banker in many ways, just to see where, you know, the car is. To be fair, the actual feeling of the car was pretty good. We had a good balance and the pace was okay. We go P8 ahead of Russell and Giovinazzi on our first time lap, even with that mistake. Eventually we got pushed down to 18th place. We're still ahead of Russell and Giovinazzi, but we're behind Raikkonen and Magnussen and Grosjean. And those are the kind of guys we need to be beating. But on my second lap I pick up a bit of oversteer on the corner entry and kind of throw away the lap, which is a bit of a shame. So not ideal. I was about 2 tenths plus, let's say, up on the lap. So, you know, we're going to see how it goes. This was, though, my best lap of qualifying. So let's see how it goes. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And we're going to go for a quick lap of the Bahrain International Circuit.
Seconds left in the session.
And there we go, across the line. Really, really good lap, actually. We pretty much nailed it, in fairness. There was a couple of areas where I could have improved. I definitely think, you know, there was a couple very small mistakes I made where we could have easily got P16 without a doubt. You know, Magnussen should have definitely been behind us, and Kimi Raikkonen as well. So I do feel like we missed out slightly in qualifying. I think we didn't fully optimize it, considering how small those margins were. I think we should have qualified P16, but crucially, we have still out-qualified our teammate, which is decent. So 2 out of 2 for us so far, and we are out in Q1 in Bahrain. But with that said, guys, we're now going to move into the race, and we're going to see if we can try and do something on the alternate tyre strategy. So let's jump into it, and let's get the Bahrain Grand Prix race underway.
The stage is set for another enthralling race here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. A Ferrari stronghold in years gone by, but will they be able to add to their record today? We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Anthony Davidson is here once again for today's Grand Prix. Why don't we start by talking about Valtteri Bottas? That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Sebastian Vettel and Ricciardo, Perez, Albon, Norris and Lance Stroll, Sainz, Ocon, Pierre Gasly and Kvyat, Grosjean, Magnussen, Kimi Raikkonen and Martinez, Russell and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm very, very thankful and fortunate we scored points in the first race, because I've got a strong feeling we are probably not going to score them here today. I'm going to try my best, you know, I don't want to spoil the video, and I'm always going to try and fight for points, of course, but being realistic here, this is very much a reality check, and I am pretty confident that I'm in Spain without the S. So we're going to be in a bit of trouble here. Starting from P18 on the grid, we're going to try and fight our way back through. Now, strategy-wise, the game isn't giving me too many options. It's either a soft, soft, hard, or a hard, soft, soft, which is what I've done, a bit of a customized strategy. We can't do the one-stop according to the game, so we're not allowed to actually have it because the tyre wear is too high, which is something we know about with this car. There's a bit of an issue with tyre wear, so we're going to have to work on that. But having said that, even though this strategy says hard, soft, soft, I'm going to probably try and go for the hard to medium one-stop strategy. It all depends how my tyre wear is. If my tyre wear is really bad, we're going to revert to this two-stopper, which is not ideal, but we don't really have much of a choice. Fuel-wise, I'm running one extra lap, so we're going to see how it goes. But for now, it's going to be all about surviving on the hard compound tyres, which, being honest, are going to be absolutely horrific. Okay, here we go then. We're going to go lean revs for the start. Try and make a good launch on these hard tyres. Lights out and away we go. That's good enough. Love that. We managed to get ahead of Raikkonen. Now down towards turn 1. We're going to use the outside line, which historically is the better line on this game. I find with the AI, we're going to be on the inside though through turn 2. Easy does it. And we're up to P15, so good launch, but we've got Kvyat challenging down the inside here. I'm going to give him a bit of a squeeze. He goes for a huge lunge, and I can't do much about that, unfortunately, so Kvyat makes the move. I'm going to just sit back for now. Still P16, which is good for me. Maybe I can pick up one more place here down towards the hairpin if I can get a nice run through here, which I kind of do. We are going to go for a full-on send into turn 8 down the inside of Romain Grosjean. We're going to just squeeze him onto the curb. And there we go. Run up to P15 once again. Looks like everyone's on the medium tyres around us, those outside the top 10. So the one stop is definitely the prediction and what most teams want to go for. The question is, will they pull it off? Hopefully we can. I'm going to try and be a little bit gentle on my tyres, but I feel like I'm not going to get the opportunity because the pace from the AI is going to be very strong, especially in the first 2 laps when they're running at max power and they drain their entire ERS battery. It's pretty hard to keep up, so the target is to try and stay within 1 second for when DRS gets enabled at the end of lap 2 onto lap number 3. So That's the target. Let's try and make that work. Okay, car in the pit lane. One of the Red Bulls. Alex Albon into the pit, so he must have got wing damage. So we're now P14 thanks to that. Happy days. I feel like turn 1 is going to be good for us. I'm pretty decent on the brakes through there, so I feel like I can definitely challenge a few guys. Struggling for traction though on these so far. But you know what? This is much better than expected. Automatically, this gives us a really strong chance of points because of the fact we got such a good start on the hard tyres, and now we're in the mix. So we're going to try and use that and capitalise on that to our advantage if we can. But I'm struggling for grip a little bit here. Okay, here we go. DRS will be enabled on this lap now.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
And unfortunately, I'm not close enough to get it. Unfortunately, I've dropped out of range from Kvyat. That was a strong lap from the AI, and I wasn't really able to match their pace. So this is bad news, but kind of to be expected. We'll try and fight back and see if we can get back within this lap. Personal best, but I feel like it's not going to be enough. Grosjean closing in with DRS assistance, but he won't be close enough into turn 1. But I am going through my ERS quite quickly, so I feel like this isn't going to last very long. I've well and truly dropped off the pace, and suddenly now what's looking so promising now, points is not looking so probable. I need a few battles up ahead to kind of cash in on, and hopefully a couple of 2-stoppers. But for now, it's looking a bit tricky. Well, at the moment, I'm kind of just chilling, to be honest. I'm losing time to the cars ahead. The cars behind can't get past, though. Of course, they've got those Ferrari engines, so their straight-line speed isn't that great when I turn my engine up, so I'm able to hold on. And that's kind of the story, really, as we have our first cars on the soft tyres in the pit lane.
We pretty much burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
Surprisingly, quite a few cars as we're now up to P11, so a few more of those, and I'll be very happy. If we get a few more 2-stoppers, we may have a strong chance of some points here today if that happens. Okay, we've got a few more cars in the pits this lap, so a few more places to gain, and we're now up to P7 as we just get out ahead of Verstappen there. Interesting scene. So we're going to have a big train of cars behind us, and we're going to be right at the front of it. The DRS train is going to be massive, so this could ruin their 2-stoppers. This is exactly what we need for points here today. We've got a big stack of Ferrari-powered cars behind us as well, for good measure, as my kind of rear shield. So this is absolutely perfect and exactly what we need right now. Ooh, okay, yellow up ahead. Nice. Hopefully not a safety car though, that's going to ruin my strategy. We just need that car to retire. Danny Kvyat. Oh no. This is awkward, really awkward. I don't know what to do. This is really awkward now in terms of timing because we're on the hard tyre. If it was the other way around, I could go into the hard tyres now and go to the end. I think we have to go... we go for the soft tyres. I'm going to go for the medium tyres, and then we're going to have to stop again for softs. Unfortunately, there's no way around it. It's in that really awkward phase, and I don't want to stay out because I'm just going to be a sitting duck. Everyone's going to pit anyway, so I may as well just box. So we're going to go ahead and pit. We're going to play it safe. Hopefully the medium tyres do the job for us. We're not going to be able to get to the end. I really don't think we can. It's too far to go, so we're going to have to go mediums and then softs.
George is coming in for his stop.
Again, that's not ideal, but I understand it. Come on, Williams, quick stop, please.
Exit now. You'll be racing as you leave the pits. Release, release.
Okay, that's decent. 2.4. George held up some of those guys behind us anyway. We're going to rejoin P13 here.
2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining in the strategy.
So this is not the end of the world. It looks like everyone's going for softs. I am not confident of getting my softs to last that long, and also I don't think I've got that many fresh sets. I think I've only got one fresh set left, so I want to save that for the end of the race so I can just go absolutely, flat out. I feel like I'll be a bit more competitive on these tyres anyway, and the soft tyres will peak after like 3 or 4 laps, so yeah. Okay guys, it's time for the safety car restart. Gonna try it.
Get ready to go racing
Yep.
again. The safety car is in this lap.
Get that
When the
temperature
field
in.
accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap.
Right, we're feeling pretty decent. Let's see if we can make the restart work for us. The autopilot not really working for me, but there we go. The timing on that was perfect.
Clear. Green flag.
Absolutely spot on there. We're going to get a nice run on Lando. We're going to box him in, hopefully, with Pierre Gasly. Gasly moving across, but we're going to make the move. We've got strong mediums here, which is good for us. Yellow flag again, but we're going to make the move anyway. And there we go, P11 on mediums. Love this. Okay, now we're in the race and we're in the mix. I think everyone will have to stop again unless someone has gone for the hard tyres. So it's an open race yet, I think. And we have the better tyre strategy if we can make this work. That's the key factor here. Gasly down the inside into the fast right. There's contact. Gasly goes round. I have to catch a replay of that. But Gasly goes for a spin. And in the space of a couple of laps, AlphaTauri's race has completely fallen apart. You can see the difference when the AI run at full engine power on the restarts and race starts because they just absolutely drop you. We're going to have to push on here. I think Lando might have wing damage, I could be wrong. Pace is good. Unfortunately, I've dropped off from the cars ahead. As expected, I don't have the pace to match them, but we've kept Lando out of DRS range for now, which is a positive, but I feel like he might get back in any moment now. Okay, I think Lando Norris just pit just behind us. Because it was the car behind me, so I think Lando is bowed on those soft tyres, possibly going for an early undercut, but that's definitely mediums for Lando Norris. We're going to obviously try and stay out for a bit longer, lap 20, 21, ideally 21, I think that would be the nice lap to pit. Well, to be fair, I could probably do 20 considering the soft tyres will be fresh, which really helps. At the minute, the gap ahead is slowly extending. It's not pulling away like it was in the first stint, but I'm still not able to keep up, unfortunately. But it's a nice train of cars there, so you know there will be a few issues with pit stops, you know, stacking, hold-ups, and those kind of things. So we need to stay in the mix and pick up the pieces in case anyone makes a mistake.
Okay, some information on Raikkonen. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Okay, that's good news. Takes the pressure off from behind a little bit, and it means I might just be able to drop the Alphas out of DRS territory, which is perfect. So happy days. We can now just focus on our own race. Let's see if we can try and get something out of this. There should be cars in the pit this lap, to be fair. I'm expecting a few, and there we go, a few of them do actually pit. Let's see how many have. Quite a few actually.
In this lap, push now.
We're not pitting yet, that's a bit early yet. We're going to go for those soft tyres. But the pit lane is busy. Hopefully when we pit it's nice and quiet and we don't get held up, because that could be a massive bargaining chip. But right now we need to work on our pace. I need to step it up a level and try and find something. Now this is a crucial phase in the race. We're going to pit lap 20, I've decided. Okay, more cars in the pit lane. Looks like we're going to be pretty much P2 in this race. Bottas stays out. Actually, to be fair, he did just pit, but he's already rejoined ahead of us. That's how quick the Mercedes are. Even after that safety car restart, they've already got a pit stop gap. But Bottas looking in control here as we've got Hamilton behind us, so it's looking good for Valtteri to win the race. We've got this lap and one more to go. Here comes Lewis, all over the back of me right now. Would he go for the lunge into here? No, he won't. I'll block him off, but it's going to be light work for him. Here he comes. I'm going to let him go. Hopefully we'll get the DRS, and we can just try and keep our pace up a little bit, and also save a bit of fuel at the same time. But there we go. Lewis goes through. As expected, we're nowhere near battling a Mercedes just yet in this career mode. Let's try and stick with him if we can. Right, in lap time.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Maximum push. Okay, it's time to pit. Far on the corner. Let's just try and keep it nice and tidy out of here. There we go. Little squirt of ERS up to the pit box. Easy does it on pit entry. And there we go. Right, we'll take that. That was a decent little stint. I don't think we're going to score points today. I don't think we've got enough pace, even though strategy has kind of worked out a little bit for us. The soft tyres aren't going to help us that much, I don't think, but you never know. A man can dream, but you can see a big train of cars going by. Currently P12, about to be P13 as Albon gets by, and that's kind of where we're going to sit, I think.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Grosjean just behind us there. Crucially, we stay ahead of him. And now we're on the soft tyre, so we can...
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
No, we're not approaching the pit window, Jeff. We're done for pit stops. Anyway, soft tyre. Let's try and switch this one on. If I can catch up to Albon, that'd be great, but I really don't think I can. So We're just going to try and solidify this P13, which will still be a decent result for us around here, to be honest. Well, we've dropped the guys behind, like bad habits, but we're not really gaining that much on the cars in front. Still good pace for me, though. Personal best.
We're coming in this lap.
We're not coming in at all, Jeff. Big train of cars ahead, but no one's really battling, which is frustrating because, you know, if they start to battle, we could really close up, especially right now while the tyres are still fresh. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get that here today. It's just a big old DRS train with no end product. It's frustrating because I'm a lot quicker in all the corners, as Albon has now joined onto the back of that train. But the problem is, on the straight, for example, the pit straight, I lose half a second on that entire straight alone just because of the DRS effect on the cars ahead. So I'm actually, you know, 1.5 of a lap quicker on the straights, on the corners alone, but I pretty much lose it all, if not 1.2 give or take on the straights, which is frustrating. You can see here I'm pretty close, 3.5 I'm gaining, but then this section here is where I lose it all because of the slipstream and DRS, which is a real shame. Struggling now, pushing a bit too much. I was starting to gain, but I'm not close enough. Oh my goodness, mate. That's not good. Let's just hold on to that real quick. Whew, that was scary. Pushing a bit too much there. Just going to bring this one home now. P13 it is. I tried my best. I got the gap down to 3 seconds flat, I think. That was the closest I got, but unfortunately the DRS effect is too strong, and now my tyres are starting to go, so let's just focus on bringing this one home ahead of Pierre Gasly. Well, Bottas picks up the win here today in Bahrain. Hamilton will make it a 1-2 for Mercedes. Meanwhile, my left rear has gone. Tyres have hit the cliff, especially the left rear. I'm just trying to nurse this car home now, but Gasly's gained like 4 seconds on me in the last lap alone. You can see my left rear 73%. Just trying to nurse the car to the finish. But I'll take it. P13 is a good race result. We could have maybe got the points had we not fallen out of the DRS train, but you know what? I'll take that. Decent pace. Happy days.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
There we go, guys. Race results confirmed. Bottas wins ahead of Hamilton and also picks up the fastest lap. So fair play to Valtteri. Really, really quick here today. And Mercedes dominate. Verstappen gets third ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. Leclerc P5, Sebastian Vettel P6. So Ferrari having a pretty decent showing around the power circuit. Esteban Ocon P7 ahead of Perez, Sainz and Lance Stroll. Then missing out the points, we have Norris, Albon, myself, Gasly, Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Magnussen, Russell, and then Kimi Raikkonen with Danica Kvyat retiring from the race here today. We then look, of course, at the driver standings, and we are currently in 8th place. So even though we didn't score points today, our points in Australia are still enough to keep us in the top 10. We then look at the constructor standings, and we are currently in 7th place. We lose out to a couple of teams who, of course, recover a few points here today. But crucially, Haas, AlphaTauri, and Alfa Romeo are still pointless, which is perfect for us. But guys, that's going to be it for the race here at Bahrain. We're now going to move into the laptop and put on some future upgrades.
You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
I think we tried our best. You know, the strategy was pretty decent. Engine speed again, you know, really helped us out. I think that was a good positive for us.
You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
I don't know. I don't think there's a secret. I just think it's about working hard and having a really good team.
It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it?
I mean, you know, I'm not sure what happened, to be fair. Yeah.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Well, after the race, we increased a little bit on the driver acclaim, but still nowhere near level 3. Hopefully we can achieve that in the next couple of races. Well, here we are guys, back in the main menu, and straight away, good news, one of the aerodynamic upgrades has arrived. I believe it was the fouled rear downforce upgrade, so that is now on the car, which is awesome. And we've already overtaken Alfa Romeo, and we're no longer at the bottom of the table. Now, elsewhere, we are going to repurchase this chassis upgrade, which did foul on us for this race. So hopefully we can get that on the car before Vietnam. And we still have 713 points left over, so we're going to go ahead and dash on another aerodynamic upgrade. And I'm going to go for rear downforce this time. I want to start from the back and then kind of create more front end downforce, but first of all I want rear end stability, so we're going to get that on the car. That should arrive before the Chinese Grand Prix, and we're going to save the rest of the points that we have in case we have a failure. So as you can see, an updated list of upgrades, and we're rapidly closing in on Alfa and Haas. So let's try and skip ahead and see if we get more upgrades in the future. Well, I'm very happy to confirm that the upgrades have arrived. So the fouled chassis upgrade is now on the car, along with our first engine upgrade as well, and also overall looking like a pretty complete package. In fairness, I think we're looking pretty strong. I think actually both chassis upgrades are now on the car, not just one of them. So all round we're looking pretty solid, and in the pipeline we just have that one aerodynamic upgrade which should arrive for the next race. So we are now a lot closer to Alfa and Haas, and we're now pretty much on even footing, I feel like, and this next race could be important for us. Vietnam is a good track for me, and I think I've got good pace around there, and I feel like strategy could be key. So I am going to be low-key aiming for points in this race. I think it's definitely achievable. But guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you to all my members on the channel, guys, for the support, and a massive thank you and shout out to you guys. And if you enjoyed this video, guys, leave a like, subscribe for more. Check out the 2 videos on screen right now, and I'll see you guys next time for another episode. But until then, guys, take care, and it's goodbye from me.